Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu. Welcome back to Hubert Trends with me. QPA Bafetu and Betelin Dabalana. I'm going to be exposing something that was said by, most South African journalists or not journalists but publications, because obviously at the end of the day we need to hold the publications reliable for their actions. Now, there's a new player that has been linked with the Glamour Boys. He's just 20 years of age. He has played 21 league games. He managed to score 4 goals with 0 assists. Now, this guy that I'm talking about is a central midfielder, not an attacking one, but he can also play that position. So, Umfana is a central midfielder. Yeah. Kaizer Chiefs are interested in signing him for next season. Obviously, into next season, I mean the 2026 to 2027 season, because obviously Kumbule June, Siavala, and then later on we start again. So, as I'm speaking with you guys, there's this boy called Hubert. Hubert Jayu is the player that has been linked with the move to the Glamour Boys. Kaizer Chiefs have shown interest. He plays for Asante Kotoko. I think he played against us on the Toyota Cup or the Toyota tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But I think he was there, playing very, very well, I believe. And then as a CM, guys, as a central midfielder, let's be honest, we do have a lot of those. For me, as I did Lamy, truly speaking, this is what I'm expecting from a central midfielder. Number one, I need a central midfielder because how we play, it determines the kind of players that we need to sign. And clearly, you can see how we play. You can see the style of play that Kaizer just wants to play. We want to play dominating football that is going to show the opponent, okay, they are not just playing football but bayalazi. So for me, a central midfielder that will be suited for this role is a central midfielder who can be able to distribute the ball, number one, ball distribution. Number two, a player who's able to switch play accurately, not just to switch plays because okay, I switch play, but switch the play and then the ball should find your teammate. Number two, he must be able to support in terms of attack. Number three layer. Number four, I need a player who can be able to manage the game, in terms of the game control. Players like Abu Marcelo Allende, that one, he's a proper CM. He's a proper CM. And then also, Jongo Banjigu is CM. I need him to be able to help out in terms of defensive duties. So with this player, does he tick all of those boxes? Well, we will get to that in just a minute. I just want us to quickly jump into what his agent said, and I will let you know who to ban agent DRK, because I feel like this is why he has been linked with the move to the Glamour Boys, and I will tell you why I think this is not accurate, because at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm talking about, this is what I'm here to expose. So his agent says, firstly, let me say this, that honestly we have not had no approach from any football club regarding Hubert at the moment. We've just signed the player, and if there has been, I don't like to say that story is correct or the story is not correct. If there's interest, then possibly Chiefs have spoken to Asante, but I can't verify that. We've just signed the player. We don't work in a way that we sign a player and the following day start marketing him. We obviously have to understand his contract situation, which we do know he has a fairly long-term contract with Asante Kotoko, and we have to respect that. Obviously, we believe he's an incredible, talented player. I've seen him play a few different positions, but he's a very dynamic midfielder and he's a wonderful second range shoot, and that obviously is always advantageous when you are playing teams that have a low block and you are trying to do something, from a distance. Which agent is agent Mike Markups currently, according to what I'm reading here, publications. So, okay, fine. As he said, Umjita is very good, long range shot. Well, I cannot deny this, guys. umfana uyalazi ipali. He definitely knows how to make sure ukuthi uyashaya nje straight epalini. And then one thing I'm not too sure about is the other things that I'm going to look at the list that I mentioned and then spawn it because I've looked at it. But before we get there, let me just say currently Tua, he's not only wanted by Chiefs, but there are other teams, teams from Denmark and then teams from Tanzania, with Tanzanian teams being Azam FC, the one I don't know whether he's usadlala or he's just retired or what is happening. But if you remember very well, there's a player that we wanted, the striker, Faisal Saloom. That one, I don't know. But definitely that team is interested in signing this player, which obviously it shows you how valuable they think he is. And then also there are teams from Denmark, which is Midtjylland, FC Midtjylland, and Randers FC. Those are the two clubs from Denmark that are interested in him. And then Azam FC from Tanzania, which is interested in signing this 20-year-old central midfielder, Hubert. Yeah. Hubert Jayu or Gayu. I'm not too sure about the pronunciation of his surname, guys, but it is Hubert. So in terms of the boxes that I've spoken about, Umfana, I took my time. That's why I did not release this story a bit early, because I wanted to take my time, do more research, look at him, understand what kind of a player is he, what does he bring to the table. So ngibhekile bafethu ngithe mangichecka ke laphana as a central midfielder, ngabheka ball distribution, he's not that good. Definitely he's not that great. I do not want to lie in terms of that. Yeah, yena uyazama, but he's not great. Skill, he's not skillful, which obviously that is something that adds to in terms of switching the play. If you can be able to switch the play, that is good, but also if you have a skill, that also adds, because how we are playing, we play with the style of okay, we need skillful players, and that is something that we've discussed earlier on other videos. And then looking at the support, when it comes to support, Omjita, I think he does that. He does that. Njoba Shilo, he does have long range shots. He's very good with that. So I think that could be one of the reasons why Kaizer Chiefs can want to sign this guy, because long range, that means you have better chances of creating something out of nothing, especially when you're playing against teams that love to play a low block. So that would make sense why Kaizer Chiefs would be interested. Even though I'm saying right now, there's no confirmation, guys, that says Kaizer Chiefs are interested in signing this guy. I'm still gonna say it, as I've said, Uti. Let's expose. So I'm exposing. And then game control, Luto, guys, which is something that also comes from a skill. If a player can be able to control the ball, that means in a skill, he doesn't lose the ball cheaply in his feet. Does this guy Hubert have? Well, I can say it's like more 40% than 80% or 100%. So it's there, but not da. So that's something to keep in mind. And then when it comes to defensive duties, I did not see any defensive structures to show okay, he does have those attributes to become defensive. So that is what I'm looking at in terms of this player. But I might be looking at it okay, maybe QP doesn't want this player. No, that's not the case. I'm just being selective of how we sign players this time around, because at the end of the day, we tend to sign players and then mabafiga banga sebenzeli, because why? We are using a different system. Let's be honest, guys, even though currently it doesn't look like that system is there, it is there. It's just minimum. They've kept it to a bare minimum, the current coaches, but it is there. You can see definitely this is the identity that we want to use. This is something that Kaizer Chiefs approves and want it to be there constantly. So if this is how we're going to do things, unless we change the system entirely completely, then definitely I would jump and sing and say bring this guy in, because at the end of the day, he's good. I can't take his goodness away. Yes, he's not perfect, but he's good and he can help the team. So yeah, that is what I'm saying in terms of this young player. But anyways, you guys can also let me know what do you think about this young man, Hubert Kyayo Okuyo. Hubert Kyayo Chuyu Chiyo. Sorry guys. I'm struggling to call him. But one thing I'm saying is Jobang Shido, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs are interested because in Dabuguti, this boy was wanted. It's something that happened a long time ago. The report Timang Chekang Aitola, Jomba Segazuba linked with us currently. Azam and those teams from Denmark were interested in signing this player before this month. It was on the 30th of January. So it would make sense to go during the transfer window they were interested in signing this guy. And then now comes Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs is interested in signing him. And also, if it is true, it might make sense because currently, according to the value that he's been given, Tua is valued at around 6 million, which is very cheap and it's very affordable because it's the price range of Kaizer Chiefs. But I honestly don't think they would sign a central midfielder for this amount. Yes, he can play as an attacking midfielder, but he's not skillful. It's not something that we want because already we do have attacking midfielders and it looks like his skill sabo is not enough because sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. We need someone that is going to be consistent with the skill and also be able to hit the back of the net. We were hoping to get that from Augustin Sereno, but unfortunately it's not entirely the case. There are games, there are certain games it doesn't do. So that's it guys. Please let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Please do not forget to like the video. I believe this is it. I'm going to later on with something new. Peace.